Military parades are often about discipline, colors, and national pride. But in Beijing, they're also about sending messages to the world. This year, China held its biggest ever military parade. Officially, it was organized to mark the 80th anniversary of Japan's surrender in World War II. So welcome, you're watching Next IAS English. Today we'll be discussing all about China's victory parade. On paper, it was a victory parade. Lekin asal mein, it became a show of power, a mix of history, politics and strategy. China turned into a grand stage where China not only displayed its latest weapons but also invited global allies to stand shoulder to shoulder. And here is where it gets interesting. Two special guests stood with Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin of Russia and Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Their presence made this event about much more than weapons. It became a clear statement about alliances, rivalries and the shifting balance of power. Let's talk about the weapons first. China rolled out lasers, smart tanks, missiles and even robot dogs. The idea was to show that it is keeping pace with modern warfare. For example, the lasers were presented as tools to destroy incoming drones. Tanks were upgraded with new technology and of course the missiles. Some with the ability to travel very long distances, others meant to threaten American bases in the Pacific. But beyond the technical details, the point was simple. China wants the world to see that it is ready for future wars, not just past ones. Now let's zoom out. What does this parade really tell us? Point number one. Rewriting history. The event marked the 80th anniversary of Japan's surrender in the World War II. In Beijing's version of history, the spotlight was on China and Russia as the great victors. America's role, which was actually decisive in defeating Japan, was quietly downplayed. This is not just about nostalgia, it's about shaping collective memory, making China appear as the central power that liberated Asia and building a narrative where the West is less important. Point number two, building new alliances. The presence of Putin and Kim Jong-un was no accident. In fact, it was the most powerful part of the parade. Picture this, Xi Jinping standing between the Russian president and the North Korean leader, a symbolic trio. Together, they represent an alternative bloc of power, one that challenges Western influence. For Russia, which is isolated after the Ukraine war, it was a chance to show that it still has strong friends. For North Korea, which faces heavy sanctions, it was an opportunity to gain legitimacy by being treated as a guest of honor in Beijing. And for China, it was the perfect way to showcase leadership in this emerging axis. So this was not just a military parade, it was a diplomatic stage. Point number three, the politics of technology. By highlighting drones, AI and smart systems, China was telling the world, we are not stuck in the past, we are preparing for the future. Duniya bhar mein ye trend hai. Wars are being shaped by drones and artificial intelligence. From Ukraine to the Middle East, these technologies are changing how battles are fought. China wanted to show it is not only aware of this, but it wants to lead in this space. Now, point four, psychological warfare. Here's the catch. We don't actually know how effective these weapons are. Most of them are untested in real battle. जो information हमें मिली है, वो सब ही Chinese state media से आई है. And as we all know, propaganda can exaggerate. In fact, when Pakistan used these Chinese-made systems in recent conflicts, they did not perform very well. Yes, I'm talking about Operation Sindoor. Which raises the question, are these weapons truly powerful or is China using them mainly to show and intimidate? Maybe the real goal is to keep the world uncertain, to make rivals hesitate and doubt. Sometimes the image of power is as useful as real power. Now, let's come back to the bigger picture. This parade tells us three things about international relations today. Number one, history is being rewritten. China is positioning itself as the main victor of World War II, while quietly sidelining America's role. Number two, new blocs are forming. By placing Putin and Kim Jong-un beside Xi Jinping, China showcased a powerful image of unity against the West. Number three, future wars will look different. Drones, AI and robots are not science and fiction anymore. They are becoming central to military planning. The symbolism of this event was almost as strong as hardware. Think about it. A square filled with soldiers, missiles and robot dogs, while three of the world's most controversial leaders waved together. For the West, this was not just a military show, it was a warning that a new axis of power is shaping up. For China's domestic audience, it was a message of pride and strength, and for the rest of the world, it was an invitation to pay attention. So China's victory parade was much more than weapons. It was about history, alliances, and power. It showed us how Beijing wants to be seen, not just as a regional force, but as a leader of the new world order. That's it for today. You're watching Next IAS English. अगर आपको ये breakdown पसंद आया, do share, like and comment. And tell us in the comment section, do you see this as the real strength or just a grand theatre? Thank you for watching once again. See you again with another deep dive video.